growing in. That way I don't have to reseed or wait for them to germinate. Good morning, Cozy family. My name is Franca, and before we get started on the day, I wanted to let you know something. Part 2 of my sister's makeover is almost done, so I'll be able to publish that soon. But I wanted to share a little secret. I've just begun another makeover for one of my very best friends, and one of the things I want to get done today to get ahead of it is she had a piece of artwork on her wall, and she challenged me to make this into something. Now, this is a big challenge because this is a very weird picture. I'm going to show it to you now, just to see what you think. That is a dish in the middle of the picture. Now, I don't mind that concept, a dish in the middle of the picture, but this is not at all. This right here is not at all the style that we're going for. We're going for a light, fresh kitchen, so this is not going to do. She had a lot of darker colors in that room. My challenge today is to turn this into something beautiful. Just like I said in my sister's makeover, I love all of Ateliers. So what I'm gonna do is to try to turn this dish into something that would be worthy of that, all of Atelier. Very aged, very old, and then we'll see what we're gonna do with the rest of it. This is a big challenge because I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but you know what? Love that kind of challenge. So let's get going on it. Just like when I was doing my sister's vases, what I did was I mixed the latex paint with some baking soda to make it nice and thick, and that's what I did again here. Because all I want to do is put a very textured layer right on this dish, okay? So we're going to start with that. You don't have to be neat with it, just cover it first. Then I'll show you what to do. Just like we did with the vases. As you can see how thick that is, that's beautiful. That's going to give us a lot of texture. Now this most likely is going to need another coat. Okay, so it's all covered. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to texture it a little bit because I don't want to see all these brush strokes. Actually, let me try my stipple brush. That might work better. Well, it's working better than the side of the brush. It's because of this angle that this is on. We'll just get rid of some of those brush strokes. I don't know about you, but this kind of thing is fun to me. I feel like I'm a kid doing a new craft at school. I remember when I was that age. I remember when I was a school-age child and they used to give us some little craft to do and whatever. I used to always say to myself, I'm gonna do it the best. Mine's gonna be the best. Okay. So the whole thing is basically stippled. And that's first layer. Okay. Now, I don't want those little circles. So we're just gonna you just gotta play with it, really. Until you get what you want. Do it in different ways so you don't have straight lines from the brush. it is working to remove the patterns, so that's good. Get on this side. Okay, so I think first layer is okay. I'm probably gonna blow dry this just like I did to the bases because I'm not gonna wait. I'm not a patient person. Okay. I keep playing with it and saying okay, like I think I'm done. Right. Okay, that's it. So that was pretty simple. Just one layer first. I'll blow dry it and then I'll come right back. Okay, first layer is dry, so we're gonna go ahead and put another layer on. But this one I want to be really textured. So we'll put it on real thick. Now this is a white color. Obviously we're not gonna leave it white, but it was just some extra paint, extra latex paint I had, so I'm gonna use it. The reason I want it so thick like this is because I want a lot of ridges and divots. Because when I put the dark color underneath, I want it to sit in there. Turning the brush back and forth gives it a random pattern. What you want is you just want the paint to lift so it's really heavily textured. Now that the dish is all dried and the coating is nice and hard, we can play with color. We're going to again try to do an olive Ateliers dupe on it so that this dish looks really old. We're gonna play with color in layers just to make that happen. So similar to what I did to my sister's vase and the colors that I used for my neutral painting in the last episode, I'm using those same colors, except I added a little bit of green here because I think that that'll add to the aged look. So I've got a wet brush and I'm gonna start with the darker colors first. That's good for the dark. Let's start adding a little bit more of a different tone. That's a nice tone. Okay, so now we've got these tones going on. Let me lift it so you can see. Okay, now it's time to bring some lighter stuff in. Okay, this is the buttermilk color. Very nice. See, around the edges, maybe I like that look. So far, I'm kind of loving that. See, with this here, it's nice to leave that a bit darker because it looks like it's worn. It gives it more depth. Okay, this is looking a little bit too orange for me. So, too warm. So I'm gonna dumb it down here with a little bit of the gray. Ash gray, this one's called. This brush still has a little bit of the white on it, but that's okay. See how it's giving it more of an old look? So we're gonna do it all on these little edges here. Almost like aged dirt. See this right here? Love it. I love this. This is sort of what I'm going for here. See here? Because I think that the burnt umber is too warm. So we're cooling it down a little here. Then we're gonna do a cool technique to really highlight these ridges. Actually, I wanted to add a bit of green, actually. Almost to give it a tarnish look. because there is going to be some of that green in the kitchen. I'm loving that little corner right there. Yeah, it does. It gives it a bit of an aged tarnish look, doesn't it? And that green is, which green is this? This is part of the folk art paint. And this green is, can I see that without my glasses? Grassy Meadow. Loving this right now. I'm loving it. So let's get that all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but in the pertinent areas. Look at that. Can you see that on the camera? That. I love that. So those two colors together are really good. The fawn and the green seems to do the, it seems to result in the look we want. So I'm gonna take some of my original brush that I did this, and I put a little bit of the buttermilk on there, but you have to go real gentle. Again with the side of the brush. That buttermilk might be a bit bright, actually. But let's try. You never know. Let's take some of that off. Okay. Loving that. That does look like crumbled plaster. Look, see right there? Making it look like that. It's hard to believe this is the same shiny little dish that we had here in the beginning. I'm gonna completely ruin this brush, but whatever. Okay, I'm loving it, loving. Let me know what you guys think. My problem is always knowing when to stop. I want to show you close up how it turned out. See the aged areas there? Perfect. Now I'm not going to show you what the rest of it's going to look like until the kitchen renovation. Part of a healthy lifestyle is taking into consideration that your skin is the largest organ on your body. And some people have sensitivities. I'm sure some of you have experienced that. Sensitivities to the products that you're using on your skin, body wash, moisturizer, cleansers, anything like that. So I'm one of those people. About 15 years ago, I got sick and it took doctors 2 years to figure out what was wrong with me. I was getting very ill and they just didn't know what it was. They knew it was serious. I was having some type of attacks. They just didn't know what it was right away. Because of my age, they didn't think to look at my heart. It was my heart, and I was born with a heart defect that was just never detected. By the time I was so sick, they just had never even thought of it. So after 2 years, they did discover it was my heart, and I had to have surgery to repair the defect. So what happened was they did do open heart surgery, and when they used the wires to close the sternum, I'm highly allergic to nickel. So after a year or two, after the surgery, I suppose the metal was breaking down and I started having some severe skin reactions and also other symptoms. But it was getting serious and I had welts, literal welts covering my body. My hands would blow up. My skin was just, it was inflamed. It was cracking. It was really, really bad. So there were so few things that I could use on my body. That is when I discovered to make my own products for my skin. And I want to share this with you because there are so many toxins in the stuff that we put on our skin. There's actually an app that you can get for your phone. And it's called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. And that app, you can actually scan the barcodes on the products that you buy and it'll show you if there's any heavy toxins in there and how pure it actually is, up to 100%. It's a good idea to find out what it is that you're putting on your skin. So I'm going to show you today what I use for body wash, what I use for moisturizer, and what I use as a hand wash. And they're really easy to make. You just need a few ingredients. The thing that I use that is the most pure as a soap agent is castile soap. This is Dr. Bronner's castile soap. It doesn't have any kind of smells or anything in it. This stuff is so pure that you could brush your teeth with it. So this is what I use. This is the base that I use for any soapy products. Another thing that you want to have on hand is shea butter. Pure shea butter. Shea butter is awesome. It just gives such moisture to the skin. So that's another thing you want to have. Sweet almond oil. That stuff's awesome. This stuff here I add to a few of the ingredients because I want it to be moisturizing. Because soap can be drying, right? Even the pure soap can be drying. So I add that to my moisturizer. Now the big skin healer is calendula oil. Calendula oil, calendula is a flower. And what they do is they infuse oil with that flower. Calendula is very healing to the skin. It has a lot of healing properties. It promotes cell growth and cell repair. It's also an antiseptic, an antifungal, and an anti-inflammatory. So this stuff helped me so much during that time. So I'm going to show you how to use that. Another ingredient is beeswax. You can get them in little pellets or you can get them in these little bars. Easy thing to use. Also, I have grapeseed oil on hand, and that's when you want to use it to sort of preserve these creams and things that you're using. And pure vitamin D oil. This stuff is awesome as well. I add some of that to some of the products that I make. So let's get going. I'm going to show you first how I make my healing skin balm that I use as moisturizer. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare the skin balm, which is the thing I use as a moisturizer. So I prepare a little jar and I make sure it's disinfected because you don't want any bacteria in there because these are all natural products and it will not last as long. It may spoil. So I disinfect the jar and get it all ready. First thing I do is a 1/4 cup, and I make a little bit of this at a time. I put a 1/4 cup of calendula oil. About a tablespoon of beeswax, about a tablespoon and a half of shea butter, and that's it. What I do is I add the essential oils afterwards, okay, after I melt this. So what I do is I heat a little bit of water at the bottom of a saucepan so that the steam itself will slowly melt these ingredients. So we're gonna wait till that heats up a little. You don't wanna do this too fast. You wanna do it very slowly. It's on a very low heat. You don't want to do this quickly. You want to do this slowly. You don't want to compromise the healing benefits in these oils by heating them up at a very high temperature. So it's going to be very slow. So as you can see, it's all melted. I'm going to put a few drops of lavender oil because lavender oil is very healing to the skin. About 5 drops. Now you want to get it in this jar really quickly because it's going to start to become a solid. I make a little bit of this at a time because it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so you don't want it to spoil. That's it. You're just putting that in the jar. It's going to congeal. It's going to become more of a balm or cream, and it's wonderful. I use this on my hands, my face as a moisturizer. I use it on dry patches, anything like that. This stuff is amazing and it smells really good. It smells really good. You can use any essential oil that you want in here, but I would stick with the things that are really good for the skin. Lavender is one of the most healing essential oils for the skin, so I would definitely do that. So now I'm going to show you how I make my body wash. So we're just going to let that cool in the jar. So next is my body wash. For my body wash, I use such simple ingredients here. I fill 1/3 of this container with the castile soap. So we'll do that now. Castile soap is very concentrated, so you don't want to put much. In this container, I only put about 1/3 of castile soap and the rest water and the other ingredients as well. So 1/3 of the castile soap. This stuff is so good, you can literally use this, and in another video, I'm going to show you how I use how I use this to make cleaning products for my home. Very good. Okay, so 1/3 of that container with castile soap. Then I'm going to put about a teaspoon of sweet almond oil. This stuff's amazing. It'll moisturize your body. Amazing. Also, I just put a little squirt of the calendula oil. Now, for my body wash, I really like that orangey smell. So I use an orange essential oil, if I can find it. Where'd it go? Here it is, yeah. I use an orange essential oil because I really like it. So I put a few drops, about 5 drops. Now the rest of this is going to get filled with filtered water. Now as you'll notice, this is not thick. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more water. This is not the thick body wash we're used to. This is healthy body wash. It does suds up. It's really nice. There you go. It does suds up, but it's not thick. So what I do is I just put it on my loofah or whatever, and this stuff is amazing. You can even wash your face with this. This is really good. So there it is. There's the body wash, just like that. It's very simple. Now, for my hand soap, I'll show you what I do for my hand soap. Same basic thing. I use this amber glass jar because I love it. And it's big and it's sturdy. And I can make a lot at one time. So what I'm going to do is just fill it. Let's take that lid off. Okay. A little bit of the almond oil. A little bit of the calendula for the hands. Just a few drops. And I love, again, the orange oil for my hand soap. And now we're going to fill it with the filtered water. That's it. As you can see, look at this. Can you see that? It is congealed. Now what I try to do when I use this is I don't put my fingers in that because there could be bacteria on your fingers. So what I use is a Q-tip. I just scoop out as much as I want and then use it and throw the Q-tip. Okay, so we've made moisturizer or balm for any dry skin or just hand cream. We've made the body wash, which I love. Every time you use the body wash, by the way, just give it a good shake so all the oils and everything mix in. That's it. You're making healthy products for your skin. And don't forget, like I said, your skin is the largest organ on your body and you do absorb toxins through it. You want to be really careful about what you put on your skin. Again, that website is called Yucca. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I just found this website. You scan the barcode on your products. So you'll be able to see what's in the product, if there's anything toxic in the product, and so on. I hope you enjoyed this. I love learning about new products that I can make to improve my health. And I know from experience that these things work. Let me know in the comments below if you try any of these. Thank you for spending time with me today. We'll see you next time.